But I just wanted to just quickly run down through the list of improvements, and I won't take much time. What the improvements, basically, it's some trade show components. We're very fortunate over the years to partner with other agencies and groups, and we had some money that was available through the Innovative Communities Fund in 2009-10. We were able to obtain about 50% of the materials and assets that we need to host a trade show. That's important because up till now, anyone that wanted to host a trade show in this area would have had to import the setup items from either Halifax, St. John, or the Valley. We can do it quicker, faster, cleaner. So we've got those assets on hand. And for example, we partnered with the Garden Show Association a couple of years ago and obtained a full trade show electrical system. We've got enough pipe and drape to fit out one arena, that kind of thing. So we're looking for the other assets that would go with that, somewhere in the vicinity of about $68,000. That would include things like pipe and drape and aisle carpeting and that kind of thing. Another component of it is the convention banquet equipment. We already have several $100,000 worth of equipment that allows us to host banquets. And although we don't supply food service, that's always catered. We've had several catering outfits. We've had the old Argyler was the most recent one, who came in and catered a meal. But we've had T&W Catering, Rod's Grand Hotel. I think Myra Ritchie's done some things there, as well as Southwest Nova Catering. We have the assets that they can use, but they provide the food service. So we're looking for the additional assets to make that a cleaner, meaner setup as well. We're looking for, and probably the biggest component, or the biggest part of the project, is an extension to the building. Right now we are busting at the seams. We have absolutely no storage, and even worse than that, I guess, is that we have no heated storage to speak of. So a lot of the items that we've obtained, such as the pipe and drape, have to be kept in an environment that probably isn't conducive to long wear. So we'd like to get the climate-controlled storage, and storage that's where we can sort out our assets. We can catalog things and make sure that they're sorted, so we can count them very easily, that kind of thing. So for inventory control, for ease of access, like forklift friendly, but heated, climate-controlled area. We also recognize that we need space, and the space would be in the form of a multi-purpose room, a true multi-purpose room, one that could be, and we're looking at a variety of different finishes, but something that could be used maybe for a classroom, could be used for off-ice training, could be used for a breakout room if there happened to be a convention or a trade show take place there, a reception area, that kind of thing. So something very, very versatile. That component in and of itself is approximately $900,000. We have the other major item, I think, would be a video scoreboard, and the versatility of that, it's probably got 102 uses, and that's the next major component to the project. But there's a lot of smaller items. There's the paving of the East Roadway, of course, that's in there. That's about a $40,000 paving project to pave the road up to Haley Road. But there's a replacement of our modular stage. That's an expensive item, but their stage is 10 years old. It's seen a lot of use. It's getting to the point where it needs to be replaced. Creation of a media center in the building, so do a renovation in one room where we could create a media center, something we've never had, and is probably, it'd be an area where the media, we could do uploads for games, we could do some broadcasts or televising, just an area that's media friendly. And there's other things, some of it is handicapped washrooms on our access to handicapped washrooms, camera placements. We want to put at least one television camera placement that's permanent. Portable radios, which work. Unfortunately, we've tried using the walkie-talkies, but that's just not acceptable. They don't work well. There's a lot of other items that have been chopped from the list. The original list was in the vicinity of $2.6 million. That was cut down originally to 1.89, and we further trimmed it to 1.65 to meet the proposed budget. But happy to answer any questions. I just thought that the public should be aware of the scope of the project and the potential funding sources and where it's at.
Mariner Center project, PowerPoint presentation, center project cost details, and center project description CAO.
Your Worship, those are the same documents that were circulated at Committee of the Whole. What is sought here is a motion from Council with regard to the capital project.
Councillor Pink.
I'll make that a motion that we make our contribution as requested by the Mariner Center, I think in the amount of $200,000 as our contribution towards the funding of their expansion project.
Seconder. Second. Moved and seconded. Councillor Langeau.
Thank you, Your Worship. And we've had a presentation this evening earlier with Mr. Rodden, and we've discussed this too much. I will say this, though, and I did send an email out to my colleagues today, and I do hope the message is that that's it for the Mariner Center. I mean, we've put a lot of money into that facility, and I mean huge. This is 1.89 plus another $1 million just 3 years ago. That's $3 million have gone into that facility. That is a lot of bucks. And my problem all along in this process, we've seen no business plan. What's the vision down the road for this facility? Like, there's no 5-year plan. And I would really like to ask Mr. Gushu, our representative on that board, let's get a plan here. Let's show how that thing is going to make money. I mean, it's a great project, and there's no question I've been in support of it from the get-go. But except for that, if there was any risk to the Grand Hotel. But the issue is we can't operate a facility with all of this investment. It's huge. $3 million from this community into one facility. And that's directly into the facility. I'm not adding all this infrastructure improvement on Stairs Road and the lights we put in and the paving of the lot. That's a lot of change that's in that one facility, and it's not making money. The reality is it's not making money. In fact, it is, from what I understand, there's a deficit there in it. And I do hope that this improvement is going to generate revenue. And that's the big thing for this town, because I'd hate to see us get into a situation. I'm very supportive of the motion. I've always have been. But we got to make sure that, you know, that in years from now, we don't walk in and say we need another $2 million or we need another $3 million because we're going to do this, unless there's a clear plan in place. And I know this opportunity, Mr. Dares in his briefing earlier made this very clear, that this opportunity came out of the blue, and it's a good one, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and it's, for us, it's a no-brainer, as you put it, Your Worship. You know,
I never said
no. What I mean, it was a, you know, it's for every dollar we put in, we're getting 9, so it's a great deal. But on the other hand, there are parts of this town that need work. Huge. I mean, we just talked about Main Street. We talked about other areas of town, and I really hope that we will now focus on our downtown.
Two questions I want to ask. I want to ask the question of the mayor and the CAO. If you believe this proposal is going to increase the sustainability and give us a return on investment for this facility, because in 5 years, if it doesn't, we'll be the ones wearing the albatross when other infrastructure items need to be repaired that we haven't done because we've invested our $200,000 in this. Again, I'm going to support this, but the hard questions need to be asked when Joe Public walks up to me on the street and says, well, my storm sewer is flooding, or my road is bumpy, as we just talked about. Why are we spending this money? And I want to be able to say to them that we're spending this money because it's going to benefit you. It's going to increase the sustainability of the Mariner Center, which is going to increase event tourism or event promotions and heads and beds. And that's going to have a net economic impact to the community. So I'd like the mayor or the CAO to tell me that that's what's going to happen, that it's going to give us create the Mariner Center, make it more sustainable, and give us a return on investment. And I'd also like to know why the paving, which is only a small component of this proposal, $40,000, is in this proposal. Because when that was put to us, the $40,000 component of the paving, there was no mention of this proposal at that time. That was, we need to pave the road because it needs to be fixed. And now all of a sudden it's part of this proposal. So I'm just wondering how it got in there.
I'll answer the second question first. The paving aspect was you could get cost sharing on that, and they encompassed that in the project. So if the project wasn't going to be approved, we were still going to do the paving out there for the back road going out to Haley Road. But it was deemed that it could go in this proposal, so we were going to get, you know, those famous $9 to $1 that I say, or $8 to $1. So that component was a funding aspect, and it's going to be cost us a little less, even though it's still $40,000 to pave it. The pie split a little bigger on that one. On the other ones, I believe it's going to be, well, I want to see the Mariner Center. I'd like to see it make money every year, but if we have years where it breaks even or shows a small loss, if it brings community events in here. If we bring, we got our famous women's hockey tournament, Chicks with Sticks, which is hugely successful. World Junior Hockey Challenge. This year we have Nova Scotia Music Week, but hopefully, from talking to Scott Long and some other people in that line of work, that they're not out of the line of thinking that in a couple of years Yarmouth can host this thing again, and they like our venue. So if we show a small loss or a break-even point out there, it's more about community development and bringing people in to showcase Yarmouth. And the conversations we had with Mr. Rod tonight, I know we can work well with him, and he's confident in the proposal. And, I'm confident we're going to get a boat in the next 2 years, and this is just going to be an added component to bring people in Yarmouth.
Sometimes at these council meetings, when we talk about government infrastructure, whether it's municipal, provincial, or federal, and there's this argument all the time that's put on the table that it somehow has to make money. What's the business plan? It has to make money. Why does it have to make money? We've pumped $1 million over the last 5 years, probably this town council alone, into the airport, and it doesn't make any money. It costs us money, but we can just let it go if that's what we want. At one time, we thought it was important for our community to keep it. And you look around at other public infrastructures. Does a town hall make money? Does the Justice Center make money? Does the jail make money? I mean, there's all kinds of components of our infrastructure that don't make money because they're not businesses. They're not in the market to make money. They're in the market to provide for the public, as you've described. If we didn't have the Mariners, if we didn't have the World Junior A's, if we didn't have all the hockey teams that come here for rep hockey and other things on a regular basis, then Rod's Grand Hotel and other places, Comfort Inn, all of these accommodation sector folks would be complaining big time that we're not doing anything to get these people to come to our community. We need the Mariner Center. And I would have thought that a commitment, and I'm probably the author of the terminology, no-brainer, and if I'm the one that said it, I'm proud to wear it. In my opinion, it is a no-brainer. If we commit $200,000, we just voted tonight to spend $75,000 on a hope that we're going to provide some energy during the Christmas season in November and December. This is $200,000, relatively small change in the scheme of things, when other levels of government are pumping in $1.5 or $1.6 million. It's small potatoes. We get a terrific return on our investment of $200,000, not to say what it's going to do for jobs for people who have to do that $1.7 million worth of work on the facility. And then what is it going to give us when it's completed? It's going to give us a lot. So I'm surprised that we haven't enthusiastically endorsed it, but we've sort of, the sounds I'm hearing, or the words I'm hearing, is that, yes, I support it, but I hope that they don't come back and ask us for any more money unless we see a really good, solid business plan. I don't think we need a business plan in that sense. Now, having said that, I think that this does complement our downtown initiatives in a major way. If we didn't have the Mariner Center, and if we didn't have the teams, and if we didn't have all of the activity that takes place there, then what would Mark Rod be saying to us tonight?
Get something done.
Think about it. It's so obvious. That's why I said that it's a no-brainer. It is so obvious to me that I'm worried that we would lose that funding if we didn't make the commitment. So that's why I made the motion, and that's why at the committee of the whole I supported it, and I have no issue with colleagues dissecting it and having a good look at it and getting the answers. But we got those tonight. And I think it's very important to the downtown, and we can't forget that those things do help the downtown when they bring people to the community. They got to stay somewhere. And so a lot of them are going to stay right across the street at Rod's, at the Mermaid, and other places in the community. They're going to eat downtown and spend money here if we have something for them. So I just disagree, and I think that we should support it. It's important, and I think we've got to get on with it. Thank you.
Councillor McKenzie, final comment.
Your Worship, the reason I'm asking that question, I still want the answer, is because the proposal that's put to us is suggesting that one of the purposes of doing these additions is to increase the financial sustainability of the Mariner Centre. So I'm asking, will it do that? If we're being told that it will, I would like an opinion and an agreement that what we're about to do will do that. And you know, I don't think there was any intent of Councillor Pink to say, well, you're stupid by saying no-brainer. He says that a lot. But, you know, if I say that, I'm giving someone permission to slap me. Because I don't think it's ever a good decision, especially when we're considering this amount of money, to just approve it. And, you know, I've heard, we've made moves like this council before, and we've been burned by it just since 2008. We've done things when someone said, oh, you got to do it. It's only $80,000, or it's only this amount of money, and then we did it, and then we said, oh, that wasn't a really good decision, because we didn't look at it, and we didn't wait, and we didn't, you know, we bowed to the gun to our head when we should just relax and get the questions answered, which we did tonight, and you know, and then we'll be okay with it. So I'm never going to jump at something unless I'm sure, or as much as I can be, that it's a good decision, and because it's the taxpayers' money, it's not my money. So, question. Let's move on.
Question been called. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion is passed.